We are now in the middle of Scorpio season, and I feel like it's really fitting to bring up this topic considering Scorpio is that energy of death and rebirth, that inner transformation that we go through over and over again as we continue to ascend and as our soul evolves here on planet Earth, which is a masterclass for us to step into the remembrance of who we are before we came here, because when we were born, our memory was wiped out, basically. And so it has been this process of awakening over and over and over again until we reach that remembrance of who we truly are and where we came from. So this process of death and rebirth is something that happens continuously as we are on our spiritual journey, as we continue to have kundalini awakenings. And what I've noticed in my own life is that there's moments in time when we go through these death and rebirth processes where we're leaving behind the entirety of who we once were. We are completely shifting into a new vibration, a new frequency, and we are stepping truly into the unknown, really having no idea of what's next, not sure who we are exactly becoming because we're in that inner transformation of it. And the moment that we step into that and we decide to rise and shift our frequency, the old self is now having a death, is experiencing a death. So part of our ego that has been constructed as a protection mechanism, as a coping mechanism, as a safety net to keep us small, part of our ego is now dying. And so what happens is, through my experience of this, I have recognized that there is a grieving process that occurs similar to losing something or someone in your life that is truly close to your heart. So if you've ever had a situation where you've lost a loved one, if you've ever had a situation where you've lost possibly maybe a career or a position that you had, or you've received some sort of news where there is loss involved, this is a similar experience of feeling the death, feeling the loss, feeling the grieving. And it truly is something to be leaned into so that we can fully let go and fully move into the new expression. Because if we don't fully let go, there will be that heartache, there will be that sadness that is still linked to the transition. And so we're truly not yet on the other side of it until we completely release it and basically bid it farewell. So there are some practices that are really potent, really powerful that we can do to move through these states of grief within the self. And a lot of the times when we hold grief in the body, it's like this casing around our heart, and it's like the moment that we cry, things start to open up in this area, and allowing ourselves to move through those feelings are really going to help us to be in that space of softness, vulnerability, because in vulnerability we find strength. In vulnerability, we start to show our true face to the world. We start to step into our authentic self. And so it's important that this space within us is open so that we can live a heart-centered life, that we can really lead with love. And of course, coming into the self and finding that space of nurturance and self-love is really important through this grieving process so that we can show up and be available to step into that next level, that next expanded version of who we are and what we are here to be, who we are here to be in our fullness, in our full expression as a connection and a download of the divine. And so one practice that I can share that has been super helpful for me is a practice from Kundalini Yoga that is the meditation to release grief. It's a very simple practice, very powerful. So I've had moments where I've done this practice and I've cried through it. I've had moments where I feel super empowered during it. And I did this practice daily for over a year's time to really release a lot of energy around my divorce when I went through my divorce, because there was layers upon layers of release that were happening within that experience for me. And even though I felt like I had moved on, on a logical level, I really truly was ready to move on and I felt like I had moved on, there was still a lot of unresolved emotions that were stored within my body. There was still a lot of energy being held within me. And something that's interesting is, we hold space for things until they are fully expressed. And we hold space even for items within our home. So it's like that idea of having different tabs open in our mind in the background. It's like not emptying the trash on your computer, or not, closing out the windows that are all open in the background. So even if they're not right at the forefront and we're not fully conscious of them, they're still running in the background. So we're still on some level holding space for these unresolved feelings that are within us. So I would love to share this meditation with you today, which has been so powerful in my own transformation. And I do revisit it from time to time, and I absolutely love it. Now, this breath that we use is a more rapid breath to release the energy and to let go and to clear more space within us. So we use an O-shaped mouth and we breathe in and out through the mouth, very similar to a breath of fire, which is in and out through the nose. And it's like an equal inhale and exhale that we're doing through an O-shaped mouth. And as we do this, it's the same idea as if we were doing a long, deep breath, where the breath, as we inhale, the belly expands, the diaphragm comes down. As we exhale, the belly comes in, the diaphragm comes up. And so as we do this breath, we're doing the same thing. Inhale, expand, exhale, pull in. Inhale, expand, exhale, pull in. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so what I would invite you to do is that if it feels uncomfortable for you to go very rapidly at the beginning, you can slow it down. And then over time, you can start to go more rapidly into it. And it can be as quick as you are able to move into. So just know that wherever you're at, meet yourself where you're at. This is the first space we want to come into when we're working with the self, when we're working with self-love, is to meet ourselves truly where we're at, without judgment, and allowing whatever to come up and to release to be there and to express itself as we move through this process. So we'll do this breath together for a short amount of time so you can get the feeling of it. And this breath practice can be done for a minimum of 3 minutes. And when we do this practice for 3 minutes, we're basically starting to impact our blood chemistry within. And so this is shifting our vibration, and it's also impacting our electromagnetic field. So it's impacting our aura. And so this is going to release energy from our body, and it's going to create more space within us so that we can be present with what is and truly let go of that death of the old self, the death of whatever it is that we're letting go of in the moment, and allowing that feeling, or whatever feelings do come up, whether it be grief, whether it be sadness, whether it's frustration, whatever it is, to really use this meditation and this breathwork practice to allow yourself to release and to let go. And if nothing comes up, that's also perfectly fine. That's also okay. Just allowing yourself to use the breath as a catalyst for change. And even if we don't feel anything, and if nothing comes up to be released, we are still receiving the impacts of the meditation simply by doing this breathwork practice. So like I said, I've had moments where I have released and I've cried. I've had other moments where I just feel completely empowered in my breath and I'm just going for it with the breath. And that's okay too, because it's shifting our frequency, it's shifting our energy. And so I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are. First and foremost, it's really important that you haven't eaten anything for a little amount of time before doing this. So usually we say a minimum of 2 hours before doing a practice to have an empty stomach. So to finish your last meal 2 hours before, if you've had a light snack like fruits and veggies, it can be about an hour afterwards. You know, the longer amount of time we have before we do any kind of breath work or meditation practice, between eating and then doing the practice, the better the results we will have. Because what happens when we eat is our body is in that process of digesting our food, and it's taking energy from our system to digest. And so we want our full energy, our full attention, our full presence in the practice that we're doing. And so obviously it's going to also be a little bit uncomfortable if you've eaten and you're pumping your stomach, right? So, you know, there's that level of the awareness of it as well. So there's a few things going on with food. So if you have just eaten, come back to this video and revisit it at a time where you feel like you're empty in your stomach and you're able to give your energy behind the breath. So come into a comfortable seated position. If you're sitting in a chair, your feet can be flat on the floor, uncrossed. If you sit on the floor, just prop yourself up with cushions so that your knees are below the hip level and everything is relaxed in your legs. Now, I invite you to bring your left hand to your heart center and your right hand on top of your left. And create a little bit of pressure here at the heart center. Now, close your eyes. Draw your eye gaze up and into your third eye between the brows. And begin to draw your full awareness and your attention into your body. Notice how you feel in your body. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Relax into your body. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Relax deeper. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Anchor and root yourself through your tailbone and energetically link into Mother Earth's energy. Bring yourself fully present here and now. Now gently engage your lower abdomen, lengthen your lower back. Lift your chest away from your ribs. Relax your shoulders down your back. Your chin is parallel to the earth. Eyes continue to focus at your third eye and energetically elevate through the crown of your head. Inhale and exhale. Now as we create a little pressure into the heart center with the palms of our hands, really activate this center. Be aware of the capacity we hold in this space within our hearts to be open to love, to be open to presence, to be open to all that is. And with the intention to open and create more space within this center, we move into the O-shaped breath, this meditation to release grief. And we begin. Inhale. Suspend your breath. Gently press your palms into your heart center. Exhale through your mouth. Allow your breath to regulate in and out through your nose. Gently release your palms into your lap. Allow them to face upward. Focus at your third eye point. Notice your energy. Notice how you feel. Inhale and exhale. And softly and gently come back into the space and open your eyes. So again, this practice can be done for a minimum of 3 minutes. So if that felt like it was a lot for you, start slow. So start with a minute, then gradually build your way up. It could be 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. So once you get to that 3-minute mark, you're going to go even deeper with this meditation process. When I had this as my daily practice for over a year's time, I was doing it for 11 minutes. And when we do something for 11 minutes, as far as meditation goes, we start to go even deeper, and it starts to work on all the glands within the body and also the nervous system. So everything starts to shift on a deeper level the longer we do the meditation. So if you'd like to take this and go with it, if you're experiencing, some kind of contraction around your heart, or if there's emotions coming up for you right now, as you're going through your ascension process, this is a really, really great meditation to add as a daily practice to really shift things quickly. So you can start, like I said, at a lower number and amount of time, and then build your way up to that 11 minutes. And again, 3 minutes is a great baseline as well. So if that's all the time that you have to add this in, I would highly recommend it because it is so powerful. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to see you very soon. I will be back. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I'll see you soon.